Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the German 3D import of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter and Instagram at Movie Guy 365. Okay, finally, the 3D Blu Ray of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or as you can see, the German title is Spider-Man A New Universe. So normally when I import 3D titles, because of course we don't get them here much in the States any longer, I typically order from the UK. It's usually Amazon UK or Zavi or some other kind of service. But unfortunately, the UK itself did not get a 3D edition of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, so I went to Germany for this particular release. I got definitely my thoughts on the disc. The movie itself, I absolutely loved it. I own the 4K. It's amazing. The color pop out is just spectacular. But I really wanted to get this on 3D because I feel it would be a genuinely good 3D picture. And I was very excited to get it. So I did get it a few days ago, and I'm happy to report that the 3D image is very, very good. There's a lot of good depth. Quite a few pop-out moments, which I'm more of like an immersion type person, but there's limits you can really do with animation. So I think while you do get some good immersion, especially when Spider-Man, there's a lot of like aerial type stuff. For the most part, it's mostly pop-out, but I do appreciate that. It is actually a fantastic looking disc. It's something definitely I think you should consider getting. Now that being said, I have to offer a little bit of a warning on this disc. So, as I did mention that I had to import this from Germany, while you do have the option to get subtitles and pretty much all in language, that is native to your country, audio also, there is a slight issue. So, anybody who's seen the movie knows that Miles Morales, a lot of times, conducive to the style of the film, which I think is like one of the brilliant aspects, it becomes more of a comic book movie. So you're going to get some thought bubbles, Miles' thoughts and that kind of thing. Those, unfortunately, are in German only. There's no way to change it. There's no, there's no switch or anything. So on the somewhat positive side of this, whatever he's thinking in that thought bubble is generally what he's going to be saying. I think there's maybe one or two instances where that is not the case. But yes, those thought bubbles are going to be in the German language. So I've been reading reports also that they're checking other countries, their 3D versions. I haven't heard anything yet regarding those, but as it stands right now, that the German version only has the German thought bubbles. So, if that's something that's going to bother you, you may want to hold off. Potentially another country might get the disc in, and we might start hearing reports about that. If there's anything different, go ahead and check my Twitter feed. I will post something when I learn something about that, but as it stands right now, that's kind of the case. So as I mentioned, if that's going to bother you, just keep that in consideration before you plunk down the money for it, because importing discs is not usually a cheap endeavor. So just be aware of that kind of thing. But yes, the 3D picture itself I feel is really, really good. Of course, the color saturation and all that is going to be better overall on the 4K disc. So if you own the 4K version and things like this kind of bother you as far as color grading and stuff, but it is still very colorful. It is an animated film, so there's going to be a particular attention to detail in that style. I liked it a lot. I think it looked really, really, really good. It's in my opinion, a beautiful Blu Ray picture. I had no issues whatsoever. It looks great. It puts you in that world, and I love that about the 3D effect. It's like if it's done really, really good, you are just like enveloped in that whole thing, and I feel it does a really, really good job with that. As I mentioned, immersion is not as great as I would have liked it to be, but there are several scenes where that is the case, and there are several scenes where it just looks fantastic. But overall, pop-outs are strong, and there's quite a bit of them, so if you like that kind of thing, you are going to be in for a treat here. Audio-wise, we are given a 5.1. Not as good as the 4K audio, which was I believe it was an Atmos. It sounded a little bit better, but this is not a slouch audio track. It does sound good. There's several moments where you get a lot of good sound immersion, and that's really good to keep those speakers active, keep things happening. The worst thing a movie like this can do is just put everything up front, not pay any attention to the back, but I feel it does a good job doing so. And all that is in English if you select it. I believe it does have a couple other languages besides English and German, so, you know, whatever your country of origin is, you check on that online. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I think it was definitely worth the purchase. Slightly disappointed about the German text throughout the film. It doesn't happen a lot, but when it does happen, it is kind of noticeable. But as I mentioned, if you are, you know, I mean, it is spoken through English most times, but if that really bothers you, definitely wait for another release. Okay, so Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or A New Universe as it's called in Germany. Fantastic looking disc. It's really worth your pickup. So go ahead and leave in the comments below if you're going to pick it up. And in the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'm putting out videos daily. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.